Hi, today we're going to do a deep stretch practice. We're going to be using my favorite prop, Paul the wall. He holds us up, he makes us stronger, he's the best kind of friend. We'll also be using blocks if you have them. If you don't, go ahead and grab 2 decent sized books that are about the same size if you have any of those. And also grab yourself a yoga strap if you have one. If you don't have one, then go find a belt or the strap of your bathrobe or anything like that. Be inventive. Extension cord, I don't care. Just, we're gonna wanna make our arms a little bit longer at some point today. So in this deep stretch, we will be doing lots of really long holds. I have my stopwatch somewhere, so I'll be keeping track for us. I am kind of bad at forgetting to push the button on the stopwatch, but I will do my very, very best to keep us even on both sides. So about 2-minute holds on lots of things, 2 minutes at the most. So I'm just going to have us scoot back and we're gonna start laying down. So let's start with our head at the wall. I want you to set your mat up perpendicular to the wall like I have it. Here's the wall. The mat is right up next to it. So go ahead and arrange yourself there. And when you have your mat perpendicular to the wall, we're just going to lay on back. Oh, just like that. Let's keep our knees bent for now. Bring the feet out wide and let the knees fall in towards each other. Now, if the knees don't actually touch here, that's okay. It says nothing about the kind of person you are. Just let them relax in towards each other. Let your spine relax. Slow in your breath. On your next inhale, sort of tuck your tailbone back towards your head, feeling your low back rise up off the floor. Lots of space under there. And as you exhale, turn your tailbone back down towards your feet, really pressing your low back towards the floor. And then on your inhale, turn the tailbone back up towards the head. Find that space under the low back. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone under towards the feet and really press the low back to the mat. And keep going with this at your own breathing pace. Really, we're just taking this sort of natural movement that happens when we inhale and exhale, and we're just exaggerating it a little bit. We're being really mindful about it, noticing that it's happening, and taking it just a little bit further. Give yourself one more of these. And then start walking the feet a little bit closer together. And bring your left leg straight down. And then pull your bent right knee towards your right shoulder. just slightly outside your body here. Think more shoulder than chest. Now that left leg, your extended leg, flex that foot. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. Maybe even pressing that left heel just slightly forward. Now this foot on the bent leg, the right one, you can do what you want with that one. You can move around a little bit. You could just let it hang. Whatever feels good. Just keep breathing here. On your next exhale, taking your time and switching sides. There's no hurry here to bring the right leg flat and the left knee in. And same thing here. Pulling this left knee more towards that left shoulder than towards your chest. So that thigh is pulling just more towards the outside of the body. That right leg is nice and strong. Flex that foot. Maybe press that heel slightly forward. This other foot can relax. Now, if you're just the curious sort, and you just want to see why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, then relax that right leg completely. Just let it go all noodly. Don't engage it. And then engage it again. Flex that foot, press that heel slightly forward. Just notice how much stronger that makes your stretch. And lots of the stretches we do today will be engaged in some fashion to make the stretch a little bit stronger and in some cases a little bit safer. On your next exhale, bend the right knee, bring it up to join the left. Now drop both knees to the right side of your body. Keep your shoulders down. Extend your left arm out to the left. Turn that left palm up to the ceiling. And then look to the left. Just sort of notice what's going on in your body here. It's more important here to have your shoulders down than to have your knees down. So if your body is absolutely making you choose, then choose shoulders. Let the knees pop up a little bit. You can even bring a block underneath your knees. Or maybe between the knees. Sometimes I like both. Just see what feels best on you today. Notice how your body feels, especially at the top of your inhale. If you have any weird discomfort or pinching in your spine, then try and adjust yourself so you can get rid of that. It's not supposed to hurt. Slowly come back to the center. And then switch sides. Drop your knees to the left and extend your right arm out. Look to the right. Keep your breath nice and slow, your face relaxed. Just a few more breaths here. Bringing the knees back to the center nice and slow. If you're using a block between the knees, set it aside. And bring both feet down, keeping the knees bent. Now grabbing your strap or belt or whatever it is that you're using today. Let's lasso that right foot and bring it straight up. Now from here, we're going to gently pull that right leg down towards that right shoulder. Now you don't need to go 100% just right away. This is 2 minutes. That's a long time to hold a stretch. So just allow yourself that space to go deeper, to melt into it. Just like when the knee was bent, we're thinking more towards the shoulder than towards the chest, just slightly outside the body. Giving yourself enough room in your strap so that this leg is mostly straight without locking and your shoulders can relax. This left leg can stay bent or you can bring it down flat. Either way is correct. But if you bring it flat, flex that foot. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. If you can reach your foot while keeping your shoulders relaxed, then you can set your strap aside. Every exhale, relax just a little bit more into the stretch. Holding on to both sides of the strap or your foot if you have it with your right hand. Bring your left hand to your hip. This is a reminder to keep that left hip down. Keep that left hip grounded as you slowly release that right leg out towards the right. Your right hip will tell you when to stop. What is more important here to keep that left hip down, to keep the hips neutral, than to bring this right leg low to the ground. If That left leg is flat. Keep that foot flexed and strong. And this is a deep stretch on that inner thigh. So feel free here to prop that leg up on a block or a pillow or whatever is handy. On the other hand, if you need a little bit more here, then just sort of nudge that foot up higher towards that top right corner of your mat. Seconds left here. In a studio class, this is when everybody gets antsy. People start wiggling around and squirming, and I check, and it's always 90 seconds in. Slowly, carefully, bring that leg back up to the center. And then switch hands. Hold on to the foot or the strap with your left hand. We're going to draw that leg across the body to the left. Roll on to that left hip. And extend your right arm out and look to the right. That bottom leg can relax now. So same thing here. If this feels like too much, then prop up on something. Prop up on a block or a pillow or a dog, whatever's laying next to you. If you need a little bit more here, then you can sort of scooch that foot up towards the top left corner of the mat. Relax your face. Now, I have found in studio classes that everybody will start rubbing a different place on their leg here as we settle into the stretch. Everybody seems to feel this differently. A lot of people still feel it way up here in the hip, in the top of the glutes. Some people it's still hamstring, maybe they have very tight hamstrings. I tend to feel it on the outside of my knee, down that IT band. Some people in their calves here. It's wherever you're tight. Wherever you're feeling it, that's okay. Thirty seconds left here. Slowly, carefully, come back to the center. Now bend both knees here. Bring them into your chest. Maybe rocking a bit from side to side. Just notice how different you feel from side to side here. All that work we've done on the right, we're going to do all that on the left side now. So bring the right foot down, just keep the knee bent for now. And get the strap around the left foot. Extend it straight up. And just like the other side, gently drawing that left leg down towards the left shoulder. may notice that one side feels a lot harder than the other side. That's this side for me. My left side is so much tighter than my right side. Same thing on this side. This right leg can stay bent like it is, or you can bring it down flat. One way is not better than the other. It's just however your body feels better today. If you bring it down, flex that foot, pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. And maybe thinking of your breath like energy here. On your inhale, think about sending energy to the back of this leg. And as you exhale, you're releasing that energy out, sending it out as you relax just a little bit further into the pose. Now holding both sides of that strap or your foot in the left hand, bring the right hand to that right hip. We want this hip to stay down as we slowly drop that left leg out to the left. Left hip will tell you when to stop. If this right leg is flat, keep that foot flexed. Well, the thing I hear most often as a yoga teacher, when people come in and we say, how are we feeling today? What do we need to work on? And everybody says, oh, it's my low back, without fail. 90% of the class, it's my low back is just so tight. And so often, it's not just your low back. It's not even mainly your low back. It's your hip flexors, it's your hamstrings, it's everything that's pulling on that low back. Which is why in my deep stretch classes, we do this series of stretches nearly every time. I feel like they're really important. Same thing on this side, prop up on something, or if you need more, pull up towards the top left corner of the mat. About 30 seconds left here. Taking your time, come back to the center. Now switch hands, hold on with the right hand, and draw this leg across the body towards the right. Roll onto the right hip. That bottom leg can relax, and look to the left. don't know if you guys can hear the sound of the basketball out in the driveway. Both boys are out there playing basketball, getting some fresh air. Usually there's a whole pack of neighborhood kids that run around together, but not now. Everybody's sort of sticking close to home, playing with siblings only. Almost done with this one. Just a couple more breaths. And nice and slowly come back to the center. Bring both knees into the chest, rock side to side. We're a bit more even now. And either rocking or rolling your way up to a seated position. And right away, finding all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And on your inhale here, drop your belly down, pull your face forward to cow pose, hips go back. And as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin like an angry cat. Give yourself just a couple more of those. On your exhales, really hollowing out your stomach, pressing that upper spine towards the ceiling. Let's do one more. And after your next exhale, just finding a neutral spine. Sitting back on the feet, turn your fingers towards you. And then set the hands down. Maybe rocking a bit from one side to the other here. If you sit at a computer all day, this is a really good stretch for your wrists. If you want even more here, this is enough for most people. But if you want more, just sort of pull your hips back a little bit, round your upper spine. You're just pulling your arms back with you. Just intensifying that stretch some. Shake out your hands. Really shake out those fingers, like you're trying to get all the water off of your fingers. Shake them, shake them, shake them. Now, tuck your toes underneath you. Use your hands to help. We really want all the toes tucked under, even the pinky toe. This is called broken toe pose, and it feels just as lovely as it sounds. Now, once you're there, just sit back on the toes. We're stretching them. Just 30 seconds here. This one's really good and really important for your foot mobility. Toes stop moving as we get older. It's why you see so many older people shuffling. Their toes don't move that way anymore to take that step. Release. Tap the top of your feet on the mat. Now, this time, we're going to get all of our toes nice and flat. Really get them under there. And then bring your knees wider. If you have grumpy knees, be really careful here. And then we're going to release the knees down and sit back on our toes this way. I find this one even worse. Now, my parents are 72 and 82, and they both shuffle. My mom's probably watching this right now saying, I do not shuffle. Mom, you shuffle. They both shuffle, and it's dangerous because when you start shuffling, that's when you lose your balance and you're more prone to fall. Keep those toes stretched, and release. Tap the top of your feet on the mat. Now, we're finally gonna come to paw. Paw the wall. So on your knees, come all the way up to paw. And extend your right arm straight out to the side with your palm facing down. It doesn't have to come straight out of your shoulder. If that hurts, bring it down a little bit. Don't bring it above the shoulder. And then we're gonna start turning our body towards that extended arm. So the knees, the hips, the torso, the chest, everything is turning together towards that extended arm. So you're in charge here of how deep you take the stretch. Assume you're falling into a back bend here and try and come out of it a little bit. Just breathe. Now here, things like pain and numbness are bad. So if those things are happening, come out some or maybe all the way. Just 60 seconds here, okay? We're almost there. And slowly release. Just find the other side. So the left arm comes out now. And then you're slowly going to turn your body to stretch that arm. So again, you're in charge here of the stretch. This is making me wonder how my hair looks from the back. Release. and grab those blocks or those books if you have them. We're gonna stretch our psoas here. Now we're gonna start with option A. This is the gentler way, and for lots of us, this is where we're gonna wanna stay. So for option A, let's come to all fours, toes tucked, pressing the feet up against the wall. Okay, and now we're gonna bring that right foot forward so the ankle is underneath the knee. We're still pressing back against the wall there. If your knees are really grumpy here, grab a blanket to put underneath. Now from here, we're gonna tilt our pelvis forward and under. So like that. Forward and under, and you're gonna find that psoas stretch. Now, everybody, most people can feel it this way, but if you want a little bit more, and this is way more intense, then you're going to bring that left leg shin to the wall and all the way down to the mats. Now that foot, we want just slightly outside the body. So just slightly outside the hips. And then you bring that right foot under. This is where the blocks can come in handy. So maybe this is where you are. You can come to any height of the blocks, or maybe rise all the way up. And again, once here, tucking the pelvis forward and under. That's when you find that stretch, right? Feel it there on the top of that thigh of your left leg. It's a doozy. Now the psoas is a funny little muscle that attaches here in the front. It comes through the hip and attaches back in the low back. And it gets really tight. It gets tight if you are active, it gets tight if you sit all day, it gets tight. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You have a tight psoas. It's a really important muscle to stretch. It's one of the biggest factors pulling on your low back, giving you low back pain. But it's a really hard muscle to access, but this gets it. And then release. We're gonna switch sides. So remember, option A has those right toes tucked under there. Left foot up. Your option B has that shin flat on the wall. The knee is on the floor, but up against the wall. That foot comes outside the hip. This ankle comes back under the knee. You come up to whatever level feels right for you, or all the way up. Now once you're here, whoop, with the pelvis, tuck it under, just zip. And that's when you're gonna find that really strong psoas stretch right there. Breathe. Done, I promise. Relax your face. I learned this one looking at a wall of mirrors, and we were all going, oh, it was awful. He kept saying, relax your face. And slowly release. You're free. Now, we're gonna bring our legs up the wall. The easiest way to do that is sort of get on your side, scoot all the way up to the wall, bring your tush right up onto the wall, and then you're just gonna roll. You want to be as close to the wall as you can. Now we're just gonna stay here for a couple of breaths. Let our spine relax. This pose is very creatively called legs up the wall. It is a really good pose pose for recovery. So if you've been very active, if you've gone on a long walk, a long run, a long bike ride, even if you've just had a marathon session sitting watching TV, it's really good to get the feet up above the heart. This will reduce inflammation in your legs, reduce swelling and soreness. This is a great one to try and give yourself every day. But we're not just going to stay here, lounging around. On your next inhale, I want you to bring the legs open in a wide letter V. And then as you exhale, closed again. Keep going with this. Inhaling on your opens. Exhaling, closed. A few more. Now, I'm aging myself here, but when I was young, Beavis and Butthead was the thing to watch. And there was an episode where they were sitting on their couch, of course, watching MTV, and a commercial came on with Suzanne Summers with a Thigh Master. And she was doing the Thigh Master, and every time her thighs opened, Beavis and Butthead went, ho, 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 and every time it closed, she stopped. So that's what I always think of when I'm doing this. The next time you're open, just leave them open in the wide letter V. You can give yourself a Beavis and Butthead laugh if you want. Maybe even wiggling the legs down just a little bit further here. Put a soft flex on the feet. Just pulling the toes back towards the knees just a bit. And then just lay. We're just going to let gravity do all of the hard work here. Keep slowing your breath. You can let the eyes close down. Feel like maybe I'm hearing more voices outside than maybe just my two boys. But I can't go check right now. I think they know better than that right now. But I'm not sure. This time you're going to want to use your hands to help bring the legs back up. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee. Now we're going to start bending that left knee, just drawing that foot down the wall. You may not be able to go very far before you're really feeling a deep stretch in that right hip. So just stop there. We don't want the hips flying up off the floor. Keep them down. This foot closest to your face, the right one, flex that foot. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. And every few breaths here, you're going to feel that right hip start to give up the fight. And when that happens, maybe you can move that left foot down just a little bit more. Now, if you want even more here, you can sort of take that right hand and nudge that right knee towards the wall a little bit. Just being really mindful of how your knee feels. If you're trying to give your hip too much, your knee will kind of try to pick up the slack. And we got to be really careful with our knees. So don't overdo this. seeing if that foot will slide down again. You'll be surprised at how quickly that hip loosens up. Just check in on it every few breaths. See if you can't slide a little bit deeper into it. 30 more seconds. Keep that right foot flexed. I just noticed mine going a little bit soft on me. And slowly straightening that left knee. Switch sides. Same thing here, just start to bend that right foot and then, oh, time to stop already. Wherever your body needs to stop at first. Flex that left foot, pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. Just the one that's closer to you. And every few breaths here, as that hip starts to relax, maybe you can slide down just a touch further. Keep checking in with yourself. I'm almost positive I hear more voices outside. You know what, you guys stay in this stretch. I'm gonna go check. I was wrong, it's just my boys. They're just being loud. Just the two of them. Okay, I think this way. Maybe nudging that left knee towards the wall. And then slowly sliding that right knee up straight again, uncross. And this time, bending both knees, drawing the feet down, and letting the knees come wide open. And you have a couple of choices here. You can either just stay here nice and relaxed, or if you want a little bit more, you can sort of press your thighs towards the wall. Either way is correct. Just see what feels better on you today. Sliding the feet up again, legs up the wall. Now stay here as long as you like. You can take your Savasana here if it feels comfortable enough. So either taking your Savasana here, or whenever you're ready, you can slide back and lay down for a more traditional Savasana. Whatever feels better for you. And try to give yourself that gift of relaxing here. I know it's really hard when there's things going on around you in your house to relax. See if you can let go. Relax your jaw. Find a little bit of space between your top teeth and your bottom teeth. Relax the areas behind your ears and at the corners of your mouth. And allow yourself to really settle into stillness. And stay here as long as you like. Thank you for sharing your space, your breath, your practice. Namaste.